Um, and I do want to share with y'all because there's a couple of people on the call tonight that y'all may not be as familiar with. You probably are, but they're in a different capacity than you may know them. And so in this minute before we get started, I want to introduce you to Bob Brown, past governor of our district, as well as Mary Horline, past governor of our district. Um, they uh, they have been a huge part of my success and my um, indoctrination with the district. We spent lots of evenings together in hotel lobbies. Um, and so, and they have been amazing. They were amazing governors. They've continued to be a huge part of the culture, the history, and the tradition of our district. And they have agreed to serve as chairs for the past Lieutenant Governor's Committee, which is going to be y'all's helpers. Um, they are compiling groups of past lieutenant governors that can help y'all with mentoring, guidance, anything that y'all need support with, or just to bounce ideas off of with folks that have done this before. And so they're going to be your go-to. I know that Mary's already started on that because in one respect, and so they're going to be very influential going forward. So I can't thank them enough for being part of this, and but I wanted to introduce them to y'all so y'all knew who they were, and they also know a lot about membership. So. That will come in real handy as y'all are looking to help your divisions um, grow and open clubs in the areas in the upcoming year. So they're going to be very, very helpful for y'all. Um, I think that we are recording, right, Tammy?
Yes,
Okay, perfect, perfect. Good thing I didn't. Oh, I already started saying crazy stuff. Can we
I know
delete?
we'll have to get Brian to edit that.
Oh my gosh. Oh Lord. Welcome to Rose Year. This is gonna be fun. Um, so anyway, without further ado, I want to go ahead and get started because I'm actually 2 minutes over. I said I was going to do, and I'm already on a bet with our communications director Brian Rogers on if I'm gonna finish on time or not. So let me go ahead and get started. I'm so glad y'all are here. This is our first supplemental training that we're doing. For y'all this year, and we've got a few more. But I do thank y'all for taking the time. And as I mentioned in the email, the whole purpose for these supplemental trainings is to really ensure that each of you feels real confident and comfortable in your Kiwanis district knowledge and your Kiwanis overall knowledge so that you can effectively lead your divisions during the upcoming year. This is really not designed to be a lecture. It's not at all. I hope that y'all had an opportunity to review the Kiwanis 101 video from KI. So we're not going to rehash all that. What we do want to do is look at that in light of our district structure and our district operation. So that's kind of what we're going to focus on. So that's what we're doing tonight, July the 14th. We're going to do youth protection and I go over that. August 11th, we're doing divisional council meetings, and we did it in on that date in order to have y'all prepared so that you'll be ready to have conversations with your clubs and your divisions at district convention, to kind of get them in the mindset of divisional council meetings, because it's not something that we've really spent a whole lot of time on in the last recent years. And so there's going to have to be a little learning curve in that. And so we're gonna go over that so you can feel comfortable and knowledgeable as you talk to them about it at decon. And last but not least, on September the 15th, we're going to talk about the district foundation. You heard some about it at Lieutenant Governor training, and I know that that it was probably a more of a thing that y'all were not as familiar with, and so we want to make sure that y'all know a lot about it, because there's a ton of opportunities for your clubs and your division that will come directly from the foundation. And so I want to make sure that y'all are aware of those things, not and not just your clubs, but also their key clubs and their CKI clubs. So I really want to spend some time on that, which is why I'm doing a whole session on that. As you know, each session is going to start about 5:30, and it's going to approximately an hour. So we want to really make sure that y'all know that after this session and after each session, the recording will be in the Lieutenant Governor Hub. And so y'all all should have access to that. So you'll be able to go back and refer to it if there's something you had questions about, or something you want to talk to your buddy about. You'll have that. I do want our time together tonight to really be productive and practical. I don't want everything to be on the intellectual level. I want us to really talk about what this means for us in our district, but also for you as incoming LGs in your division. So I encourage you to really, chat, ask questions, provide a lot of feedback, because I want this to be meaningful. We talked about that at LG training, is you matter to me. That was our whole theme at LG training, was how much you matter to me, to your club, to the district, to Kiwanis International. And so I do want this to matter. I want this to be meaningful to you going forward. So before we get to the next thing, I do want to ask y'all up front, was there anything on the Kiwanis 101 video that you just instantly, like, before we get started, I don't want to forget, this I had questions about, or this I had concerns about? Is there anything before we get going good?
Mhm.
Okay.
Very good. Very good.
I thought it was a good video too. I mean, it was, very KI, you know, um, centric, but it provides a whole lot of information about, how we're structured and why we do the things that we do. And I also want to utilize this just as an FYI. This PowerPoint, we Brian and I are going to work on tweaking it just a little bit, so it won't be necessarily centered around lieutenant governors, but for any new club member. So as your clubs are bringing in new members, if your clubs don't have new member orientation, I want y'all to know this is a good opportunity for them to have something like that, so that they can have an idea, of what they're getting involved in. you know. So anyway, so one of the things that we talked about at Lieutenant Governor training was the importance and the impact of why we are as a district who we are, and what that means to Kiwanis International. And so we put together this slide because I talked a little bit about it, at LG Training, but I wanted you to have a full picture. And although I did not tell him or ask him to say anything, the best person that I know that talks about this is my good friend Uncle Bob. And so, Bob, is there anything that you want to add or share about, you know, our district's impact to Kiwanis as a whole?
Um, I think, and I'm a little bit biased, but I think we are the largest or the most influential worldwide service organization, especially because of our SLPs, because of the Alabama District of Kiwanis, and because of the role that this district, and particularly the Downtown Birmingham Club, played back in 1919, well over 100 years ago, and drove the transition of Kiwanis from being a uh, kind of a businessman, and I emphasize man because there were no women allowed, a businessman's kind of a business interaction, relationship building kind of an organization to one focused on service, community service, and particularly service to children. We would not be that today, and we might not be anything today if the Alabama district had not driven that change. And I think, when you go, and I think Tammy can attest to this as well. When you go to Indianapolis and you walk into KI headquarters, you immediately have some creds if you're from the Alabama district, because they recognize just like we do that we are who we are because of the Alabama district, and so it's something to be very proud of.
Thank you, Uncle Bob. And he's so right about that because that really did shape where we go from here, which is together. In 1919, we decided that we were going to do something different. And serving the kids of our communities, serving our communities at large is really what we're about. And that's why our mission statement, defining statement is, Kiwanis is a global organization of volunteers dedicated to improving the world one child and one community at a time. I mean, that would not have happened if it were not for our district. And I do think that we need to be very aware of that, but also very proud of that, the impact that we provided. We exist to serve the children of the world. I mean, that's what Kiwanis is all about. And I know that I'm preaching to the choir, but as you work with clubs in your divisions that may not know that or may not fully understand the depth and the weight of what we have here in our district, I want you to be able to share that with them. I mean, think about all the clubs that, we just started in the last 5, 6, 7 years, the new members that have come into our clubs in the last 5, 6, 7 years. They obviously want to serve, they obviously want to do things in the community, but they don't understand why they're doing that you know and that knowledge, that expertise that y'all have, that you're getting, really shares that, drives that home to them. This is why we do what we do. And so when we talk about that, share with me, if y'all don't mind, if you have anything in mind about a particular service project. We'll just take a couple, that you really feel like drives that point home that you're familiar with, if y'all have anything. Oh, this is not my same group from Prattville that was at the bowling alley. Y'all better do better than that.
Well, as far as Indian Springs Village Club, I think our work that we do with the high schools there and the Key Club, and then and because I'm in two clubs, the Mountain Road Homewood Club, and I think the work that we do, with the Exceptional Foundation and the Bell Center and some of the other charities that are in the Homewood Birmingham area.
Good. Bob talked about that a little bit earlier about, our SLPs and how integral that is. I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. But yeah, I mean, focusing on developing young people into the next leaders of our communities, I think is huge.
I can add to that, and Bob can back me on this because he's from the Hoover Metro Club. That particular club is really good about supporting local and not just necessarily Hoover, but Greater Birmingham uh, nonprofit organizations that are very focused on helping at-risk kids
Mm.
of all ages. And there's a particular member, you know who I'm talking about, Bob, Deb O'Hara, that's just done an outstanding job of building and maintaining those relationships. The club supports them both financially as well as through various projects throughout the year. So that has a direct impact, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, focusing on children who would not have an opportunity otherwise,
Right.
and I want us to think about that when we are stressing to our clubs and our divisions regarding membership. We're always talking about membership, membership, membership. I know because I think about it, as I sleep. Really, it's a thing for me, but it's not a financial thing. It's not necessarily a financial thing. It's really more so we need more hands for service. Those babies need to have, the things that they need to be successful in life. And the more members we have, the more we can do, And so, whether you're reaching out to at risk youth, whether you're reaching out to kids with food insecurities, whether you're reaching out to kids to help them with leadership skills, whatever the case may be, if we don't have more members, we're not able to do as much as we can because everybody's stretched, right? I mean, we're all stretched. This right here that y'all are doing right now is a stretch because there's something that you're not able to do because you're on this call. So the more people we have, the more we can do. And I just really feel like, you know, that's why membership is so important. So keep preaching membership, keep sharing why membership is important to our service. And I do think that once our clubs are able to make that connection, we'll be able to really be successful in our growth. So this was probably something that y'all kind of already knew. Again, it's Kiwanis 101, and I want to be able to incorporate stuff that's going to make sense to a brand new member. But I want you to be able to explain it, right? So as you go to your clubs and talk to your clubs, they're going to want to know outside of helping and serving kids, like, how is this organization structured? And because sometimes we are often just focused on our immediate area. We don't always think that through. Y'all are all past club presidents, so we don't always think that through. But now that you're moving into the lieutenant governor's role, you have to start thinking a little bit on the penthouse level. What does this all mean? And how do I break that down to a new club member or a new club. And so this is really how we're structured. Kiwanis International provides us with resources from marketing materials to publications like our magazine, to human support, like when we're doing a club opening activity or something like that, they'll send somebody in. Social media support, they provide us with Instagram pages for our Voices clubs. They provide us with Facebook pages for our new Kiwanis clubs. They supply us with networking opportunities. So to like international convention, things like that to kind of give us an idea about what Kiwanis International provides us. Not to mention insurance. I mean, we pay for it, but they go out and shop it and do all the things they need to do to make sure that we have it so that we are safe in all our endeavors, right? And as a district, our real focus is support our clubs, and as lieutenant governor, that's going to be your main focus is supporting the club's needs, whatever they may be, whether it be membership, whether it be financial support, helping them understand and navigate. Oh, y'all need money for service? How about y'all apply for a grant from the foundation? Or how about y'all apply a grant from the Kiwanis Children's Fund? I mean, just being able to help support them to navigate where they need to go when they need help. You don't always have to know all the answers. And later on, we're going to tell you kind of who you can reach out to for some of those answers and resources. But that's our district role, is to really help support all the things that your clubs are going to be doing. And now I'm going to have Tammy share a little bit more detail about that, because as district executive, she covers all the things. So, Tammy, is there anything that you want to share with my lovely folks here about the district's role?
Well, two of them already know that pretty well because they're currently serving as lieutenant governors. And I think Brenda probably has a really good idea because she's been so involved with her club for so long. The main thing that I do is just try to keep the train on the tracks basically day in and day out. I field all the phone calls from folks who are trying to get information about speaking opportunities and things with the foundation, just general questions. I usually in the spring get a lot of phone calls from people wanting us to buy eyeglasses for them. So that must be a time that the Lions Club is busy promoting that. Um, and I also answer a lot of questions for lieutenant governors about membership and some other things. So if you ever have a question and you can't find the answer in the Lieutenant Governor Hub or on the Kiwanis International website, feel free to call me or text me or email me. If there are any particular questions that any of you have, I'm happy to answer those.
So let's put a pin right there. Before we go on to the clubs and members, are there any burning questions that y'all have for Tammy? Because we got decon coming up, we got all these things coming up. And so, any questions that you have for her?
Yeah, I do. And it's going to be show my ignorance. It's a really dumb question, but I'll do
It's
it anyway.
okay. That's why we're here. You're amongst friends.
Uh, um, since the reorganization of the divisions,
Mm-hmm.
I'm Division 5 now, and one of the clubs that was added to that division is called Helena. I can't find a Kiwanis of Helena. There's a Kiwanis of Central Shelby County. Are they one and the same?
David, no, David,
No.
that's in my division right now. So if you'll just email me, text me, I'll get you in contact with the president and the secretary treasurer there. Matter of fact, they're having an event coming up soon that I'll be attending. I probably have attended three of their meetings, and I hope to attend another one in July.
Okay.
A small club, maybe 8 or 10 that show up, maybe 15 members total.
Okay. Thank you.
But they have a long history of being a club with past governors in it. So they are very proud of that history and they've done a lot of good things for the district.
Great.
And Mary Cooper is the glue that holds that club together.
Yeah, you'll enjoy working with them. They're good people.
And I'm glad you brought that up, Dave, because yes, and we discussed this at Lieutenant Governor training as well. We are undergoing a divisional realignment that will not be approved until decon. We have to share that and all that there. The board did approve it, but we do have to share it with everybody at decon. But yeah, we went from 8 divisions to 14. And so that's I think that's a great thing from the perspective of making sure that our clubs really do get served, and that y'all have an opportunity to actually serve them. But of course it makes it hard for me because I have to find all those people. But but it's definitely, I believe, going to be a positive thing for us. And there's still tweaking that probably could happen after this. And but this is going to be a great starting point. And there should be and I have to look back in the Lieutenant Governor Hub to see if the map is in there. I know Brian was still tweaking it a little bit. So if it's not there, it will be there very soon. But you did see a a screenshot of it at Lieutenant Governor training, at least to get an idea about what we're looking at. Clubs are where the rubber meets the road. I mean, we always talk about members and how important members are because they are, but members make up clubs. We don't have at-large members, so for us, the work starts at the club level. And I need y'all to know how integral y'all's part is in that. There's statistics from Kiwanis International that tell us, and it's very staggering, how abysmal almost. That's really a grave word, but that's what it is. I want to paint a picture for you. It is really devastating when clubs don't have a lieutenant governor to kind of help filter information to them, share with them, help them. It's hard for them to do what they need to do. Kiwanis International works really through the officers in the club, but the lieutenant governor comes in and helps guide them in a lot of that information that they're going to receive, right? And so when we don't have lieutenant governors in areas, those clubs are just out there trying to figure it out. And that's hard. Just think about having a new club or a new president trying to plan a membership event. I mean, they may not even know where to go or what to do or what that's supposed to look like, right? And so the clubs really make it happen, but it is y'all that helps them facilitate that happening. And that's huge. So I can't stress enough how important y'all are to this whole engine. We can't function without y'all. We just really can't. So telling you a little bit about how districts are structured. And I'm gonna tell you this because y'all might not be surprised. I am perpetually surprised. And I've been all over the world with Kiwanis, but I am perpetually surprised at club members who don't understand or don't know, not aware of, how Kiwanis districts work. I'm not, mad about it. I'm just like surprised that not really aware of, what the governor's role is. And that's my job is to provide, leadership and direction. I mean, it is my goal to come up with goals, priorities, objectives for the district. I work with my board, that's y'all, to ensure that I'm not going all the way left and doing things that like don't make sense for our district. So I always am looking for assurance that y'all are accountable to me and I'm accountable to you. But that's my job, is to provide leadership and direction. Governor-elect, that their job is to assist with that. because they're going to be in that role in the following year, right? So they're here to support, to learn, to make connections because they want to be prepared when their year comes to do the work of the governor. Just kind of like the club board, and I mentioned this at Lieutenant Governor training, the club board is where all the decisions are made. Most of the decisions are made on the club board level. Similarly, in our district, you guys help with budgets, y'all help with planning. I can't do nothing without y'all's approval as governor. So everything filters through y'all. So y'all get the information first. That's why it's so important that y'all share that with your clubs and your divisions because y'all are getting it straight. Y'all are making those decisions. And so sharing the decisions that you made, owning those decisions that you made, supporting the decisions that you made really is going to resonate for a cohesive operational district going forward. And let me give you a good example of that. So a year ago, our Kiwanis International provided a pilot program. It's called Kiwanis Voices. And it's a club that really kind of serves in between CKI. It overlaps a little bit with CKI with the age. It's like starts at 18, 19. Into like young adulthood, like in your 25, 26 area. And it's a pilot program. We're going on it now. But when I first got information about it, I was instantly like, okay, but what about our CKI clubs? Like, I want to develop those. Like, I want to work on those. I want to really, figure out how we can grow our CKI in our district. And, this may be like really a problem. Well, Governor Seth said, "No, we're going to do this, and with the board's approval, we're going to do this." And so instantly, I started thinking, "Okay, well, how can I make this part of our mission? How can I make this make sense for not only my year, but to support Governor Seth in his endeavors this year?" And so that's what we're doing. Instead of focusing like I originally thought on, this is taking from CKI, I've decided, and I think I shared this a little bit with y'all at Lieutenant Governor training, is I want to fill in that gap for those kids that are young adults that are just graduating, that were in CKI clubs, but they may not have the financial resources to join a Kiwanis club, or maybe there's not even a Kiwanis club there where they stay or where they land once they graduate. I want to provide them something to be able to stay in the Kiwanis family. And so for me, that's what Voices is. I said all that to say, when it comes to things that you may not instantly be on board with, or you may be like, I don't know, the governor's gone off the rails, I don't know what she's doing. Give it time. Give it time is what I ask. Because give it some grace and give it time. Because if I can change my thought process, then I think everybody can change. And so that's the board's job, is to maybe not necessarily see the vision, but appreciate that the vision is there and try to figure out how they can make that make sense in their areas. Does that make sense, y'all?
Yeah.
It does.
Okay, good, good. That was a long-winded way, but I needed y'all to understand. I'm not going I'm not going to always appeal, It's my job to provide vision and direction and to help y'all like get there. But if there's ever a time where you're like, I need to call Regina because I don't know what she's doing right now. I want our relationship to be one that you feel comfortable having those conversations. Because trust me, and all the folks that know me well enough know that I am a thinker and I've thought this 500 ways. And so, but there's always something that I have not considered. And if you provide me that something, I may be really able to redirect. So please feel free to do that. So the district board is made up of lieutenant governors, immediate past governor, the current governor, and the vice governor and governor elect. So that's all the members of our district board, and we are the body that makes the decisions for the district. And then we have club presidents, which serve to lead their individual clubs. Did everybody know that, or did everybody understand that's how that works?
I am also a member of the district board. I have voice but no vote.
Correct. Thank you
I think
for
this is
reminding me of
very
that.
helpful. I remember being a new member in a club when I first joined, and I just never understood the whole organizational structure from KI down. And so
Right.
just having this as a resource is kind of, puts it in a very clear focus for new people.
Well, I love this because, when you, like I said at the outset, when you can lead with confidence, when you can lead with comfort, it just makes for a better situation. Your clubs in your division appreciate you. They know that you've got their back, and they feel confident in you. Even if you don't know the answer, they feel confident in you. And I think that's going to resonate. We talked a lot about what y'all's role is in the division in the district at lieutenant governor training, but I also wanted to provide this just so that you kind of get a visual. I'm a visual learner. I've shared that with y'all multiple times, so I sometimes need to see something. I think for me, the biggest thing, and I tell people this all the time, is make the connections. You are there to support, but it's hard to support if you don't have a connection, if you don't have a relationship, right? Because they're not going to always share with you what you need to know to help support them. You might be thinking that you're helping support them, on this problem, but that's really only the surface. When you have a relationship, when you have a connection, they're going to tell you where the rubber meets the road. And then you could really, really hit home with them and make a better impact. So take some time to really, think about what your leadership is going to look like, how you plan on supporting, what that's going to look like. If you're working 60 hours a week, what does it look like to connect with your clubs? Because you're not going to be able to go to every lunch, or every service project or whatever. So I want you to visualize and kind of formulate a mental plan on what your lieutenant governor year is going to look like. Not for me, but for you. I put this in there because for me, it was like, and Dave and Sam and all the others on the call uh will really be able to have this resonate with them. Stuff that I just really wish I had known as I became a lieutenant governor. Like, and I will say this. I know that this may seem like funny, or it may seem like, well, duh, Regina, but the asking for help was the hardest thing for me. It wasn't necessarily that I didn't know who to ask. I just didn't want to be like that person that's like, somebody, I'm sure somebody explained that to you, like, don't be dumb, and I'm not the only one. So I like to be vulnerable with all my folks. So that was the hardest for me, to ask for help. I'd rather just do it myself, right? But that's not how this group is organized. That's not how we are designed. We are put here on this earth to help and serve others. Kiwanis is no different. I had to learn that. So I want you to always feel like you can ask for help. That's why we did the buddy system. So you have another lieutenant governor out there that you can reach out to. That's why we reinstituted the past lieutenant governors committee. So you have someone this season that's done this already. You know, I don't want you to ever feel like you're out here doing this by yourself. I really want you to feel like you've got support and you've got some folks in your corner that are going to help. Um, I'm
Do we know who those buddies are for each of the divisions yet?
Yes, we chose at Lieutenant Governor training. However, I think your buddy is Ginger.
Oh,
Are you Dave's buddy?
Mine is Sam.
Okay.
I thought you were saving him for one of the new people that had
Okay, he might be.
just
He might be. Yes. Dave, you might be one of my new people's buddy. Um,
oh, okay.
Eric,
yeah.
buddy.
Who was that? Who just said?
Eric is my buddy.
Oh, okay. Okay. Um, So yeah, so we divvied that up, and actually, I need to get that list so I can put that in the Lieutenant Governor hub so everybody knows who everybody's buddy is. Because I just kind of let y'all do that, and then so yeah, if y'all would send me that in the group text so I can make sure that I have a record of who's got who. Thank you. But yes, Dave, your buddy's not with us yet, but you will have one.
Casey is mine.
Yes, yes, Casey is yours.
Yeah, Ben, did you say I'm your buddy, Ben?
That is correct. So now that I know what you look like, I got you.
Yeah, War Eagle.
War Eagle. I just had a family full of people here for the soccer game just showed up. So
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Fun, fun. Um, I want to go into in the last 15 minutes a few more things, what we expect from y'all. First of all, I expect y'all to participate. I mean, like this call, if I know life happens, but I do want y'all to participate and communicate with me. That is huge. So if things are going in your life, you've got classes. I know Eric's in school, so if you've got deadlines at work or whatever the case may be, and you can't get to doing what you need to do, reach out to your buddy, but also let me know so that I can help support you. We expect you to meet once a month. We will finalize that meeting date at district convention. And so just be thinking when you'd like to meet so that we can do that. I expect that you participate and help lead your divisions. I mean, your clubs are going to need your help, and I expect you to help them. Now, one of the
hey,
things, yeah.
Rose, speaking of district convention, have they sent an email about registering? I know you sent it in our text,
Oh, yeah,
um,
so
but I
many.
hadn't I hadn't seen an email
Yeah,
about it.
Well, I
registration
don't
is
know.
open
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Yes, Brian has sent out an email and the information is on the district website. When you
Okay.
go to register, he has come up with a very, very nice digital brochure for us. And you will have to scroll down past the actual registration part to get to where you make your hotel reservation. So keep scrolling until you find that.
Okay.
And you'll be able to see, what sessions and kind of a draft of our programming for the weekend. All that's on there. So,
Got it.
I registered the first day I got it, and it's very user friendly.
yay.
That's good to hear.
Yeah, we like that kind
I
of
must have been
feedback.
one of the earlier ones because Brian emailed me and asked me how it worked for me.
We're using a different platform for registration this time, so I would appreciate any feedback that y'all can give us.
Yeah, it was good.
Good
And,
deal.
and share that link with your clubs. So that they'll have it too. Because uh Tammy's not lying. I mean, it's a really, really professional looking format that we have and presentation. So please share that so that we can have as many participate as we can this year. We got a great venue. So we often talk about our service leadership programs, and I want to run through this, but I do want to share something with y'all. We talk about how important SLPs are and the lifeblood of what we do. But what was interesting to me that I found out about that, sometimes we say things, but it may not be like, it may be a little bit different when you look at the numbers. Yes, Key Club is the dominant. I mean, we have over 150 Key Clubs in our district, and some are very large, much larger than our Kiwanis clubs. And we have many clubs that support our Key Clubs in our district, but we have 21 Builders Clubs in our whole district, and we have four four Action Clubs in our district, and we have six K Kids clubs in our district. And we have 15 Circle K clubs in our district. And out of all those clubs, or the few of those clubs, we have roughly about 10 to 12 clubs throughout our whole district that support them. And so I said that to say SLPs matter. And SLP does not just mean Key Club, right? I mean, it doesn't just mean Key Club. If we say that we as Kiwanians as a district support our kids from elementary on, then we got to put our money where our mouth is. And so I just wanted to bring that out. I'm not trying to, cast any shame or any. I just want us to be aware. Again, y'all are the incoming board. You need to know those things. Go
Well,
ahead.
I was going to say something about the voices trial
Mm-hmm.
thing. I was confused and even a little bit skeptical of it when I was first heard about it. I was like you. I didn't understand, why it was needed if we have Key Club and then Circle K.
Mm-hmm.
And our esteemed Kiwanis International president, when he was in town several months ago, made a very good point. He says, not every high school grad goes to college these days.
Right.
A lot of them go to trade school or go straight into the workforce, and we lose them otherwise.
And
If you
even if they
have,
go to college, do they have a CKI
exactly right, yeah,
club there?
college has one, yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I like you. I had to think a little bit differently about it, and again, as leadership in our district, that's what we're charged to do. We're charged to see it from that penthouse view. What is the best thing for our district? What will help grow our district? What will help us do the great work that we've said that we are committed to do in our mission in our district? And I think that's one of the ways we can do that, because in the past, we have had so much success with our Key Club and also with our Circle K. I mean, we've had international presidents, we've had international trustees that come right here from our district. And so, we are doing a good job, but we could always do better, right? We could always do better. And that's the tension, that's the challenge. And that's the challenge that I give to y'all, is that we do better. Um, Not only is new club orientation important, but club leadership education is important. That's where our clubs leaders are trained. That's where secretaries learn what to do. That's where presidents learn what to do. And I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to get pushback. I'm preparing you. You are going to get pushback. You are going to get clubs that say, I've been president already. I already know how to do this. I've been secretary for 5 years. I don't need to go to CLE training. I implore you to really focus on how you can share with them. You can share with them the importance of the new things, the technology, all the things that we have in Kiwanis now. Um, there's some clubs that they know that Engage is there. We did a whole thing about it. They know that Engage is there, but they've not really done anything with it, or they don't really know the functionality of it. And so CLE training is huge. Kiwanis International offers it in August. Um, and in the past, there've been some opportunities where we've offered it as a district, but I also want, once we start offering that, I want y'all to really push it. Um, it's a sad situation when you've got a club leader that's leading a 100-person club or 50-person club, and they don't feel confident in their role. They don't feel like they can do what they're supposed to do because they don't know enough information. I mean, that's frustrating, right? And so I want you to feel like, I want them to feel like they are equipped with the knowledge and know who to go to when they have struggles. So push CLEs when they happen. Um, if your club right now, it's never too late. We have videos online. So if you've got some club officers, I know you're not in the role yet, but if you got some club officers that have not done training, we can do that. They don't have to do it in person. I mean, they can do it online. I just want to make sure that we have that done. We talked about Engage at Lieutenant Governor training. I'm gonna not gonna spend any time on that because we talked about that. And if y'all feel like we need to do more about it, we can definitely include that in another one of our calls. But this is important to me. Who do you call when you have a question? Who's that person? I want y'all to seal this slide in your memory bank. Seal this in your brain. um, because whether you know the person's name or whether you know who is involved,
Calling
who's
Sam.
going to help you? You calling Sam? That's right, because Sam knows everything.
Don't think so.
You were lucky. You
Calling.
got a seasoned one.
I'm calling. I'm calling Tammy.
I feel you. I feel you. Tammy's like, yeah, I'm on that list. I'm on that list. Don't call me first. But anyway, but yeah, who was that? Did somebody have something? Okay, I thought somebody was saying something. Yeah, if you are concerned about, like, one of your clubs reaches out to you and it's like, I want some of my kids to go to decon, but I don't really know, what to do about that or whatever. You have an SLP chair. If you have a club that wants to do a membership boost and you don't really know who to go with that, we have a membership committee. So I want you to sear this in your brain. And on that roster that's already in the Lieutenant Governor Hub, it's got the actual names and numbers and contact information that's attached to this. But sear this because this is important. This is a big one. The district website, y'all, that has a plethora of information in it. I cannot express enough how important the district website is. It's got a ton of stuff, and we are making sure that your Lieutenant Governor Hub is just as robust. Those are the two that I really want y'all to be living in. Over the next few months as y'all get ready to take on this role. I want y'all to live there because that's where you're going to get a lot of the tools for your position going forward. Questions or concerns?
Look forward to it.
I love that. I love that. I I
This has
do.
been a great reminder for me that I know all of this, but I need to step
Right.
back and remember there are a lot of clubs and members who don't know this basic information.
That's right.
Right. I mean, it's more than you think. That's the thing. It's way more than you think, and um, you want to be able to help them. I mean, you know it, but it's like, yeah, I knew how to do that, but shoot, that might have changed. Just this week, Tammy, I asked her for something and she said, "Oh, it's on here." I was like, "Shoot, I forgot. I don't even go down that and scroll down that much." And we can all learn something, and we could all, find value in something that may seem so basic. But remember, you're going to be talking to people that don't know. So sometimes it's good just to remember what it is that we're doing, why we're here, and because we don't just have kids to serve in our community. We have this future that's been forged in tradition that we have to live up to. I mean, those guys that collected all that money, that $17,000 in 30 minutes, they had a vision. And it's up to us now to ensure that that vision comes to fruition. And then next year's class is going to be the same thing. And the next year's class, it takes all of us to make this thing work. So, I can't tell you how much I appreciate y'all's time. I do want to open it up for a couple of minutes because we started a few minutes later than 5:30. So I do want to open up to some discussion. Um,
I'll have to drop off. I got a pile of folks ready to go to soccer here in a minute. So,
Go to the soccer game. Go to the soccer game.
so I will talk to y'all later. It's been awesome. Thank
Thanks.
y'all.
Thank you,
All
Ben.
right. Bye.
Thanks. Um,
Ro, can I mention something right quick?
yes, ma'am.
One of the things that y'all may run into is this new Engage platform that Kiwanis International trotted out last year. I think there are a lot of folks who don't understand what that is. And it is the club and member management platform. It's very different from the district website and very different from the Kiwanis International website. And if you're looking for a particular report, and you can't find it on the Kiwanis International website, you might look for it in Engage. And if you're looking for it in Engage and don't find it, it might be on the Kiwanis International website. So those are two very different things. And the fact that you can't find it one place doesn't mean that it's not in another.
Right. And what I can do is in the Lieutenant Governor Hub, Tammy, make sure I remember this, is put the tutorial video for Engage in there, if it's not already in there, so that they'll have it to share. Are we still excited, y'all?
Of course.
Yes, ma'am.
Are we still raring to go? Are we still feeling it?
I love it.
Good, good. Any more questions? Any concerns? What are y'all worried about right now?
I'm not worried about
Hey,
it.
Ro.
Brooke, did you say
Yeah,
something?
yeah. I was gonna let so I thought someone else was speaking too. So I'll just say mine real quick. I've reached out to the current lieutenant governor and have not received a response. Is that normal, or should I keep trying, or just start reaching out to the presidents of the clubs?
So, yes, email your current governor, lieutenant governor, CC Governor Seth and me, so that we can follow up.
Okay.
Because remember that's our
Okay.
job. Yeah, that's our job. So
All
if you're not getting that communication, CC us on it. So now we're in the loop.
Gotcha. I will send another follow-up email just to make sure that he got it, and I will copy you guys in it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Dave, were you going to say something? I thought I heard
No,
some.
I was going to ask, would you be available for a 60-second call afterwards from me?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
I just need to ask something that doesn't pertain to everybody. So I just want to.
Okay. Not a problem. In fact, once we get done, we'll stop a recording and everybody can get off and it can just be you and me. How about that?
Okay.
That'll work.
Yep.
Okay. Um,
This has been great, by the way. Can we get a copy of this presentation?
it will be, yes, the recording will be in the Lieutenant Governor Hub and I can put the PowerPoint in there too. Um,
I think this would be something good to present to a club.
Right. I want to tweak it a little bit, just to take out some of the lieutenant governor stuff. But yes, in the lieutenant governor hub, you will have this. And I'll tweak it and then have Brian put it in the club resources section on the website, on the district website. So you'll have that.
Good.
And I'll remove all my my little decals on it so it won't be so um next year centric. But yes. Anything else, y'all? Well, I'm glad that this was helpful. I hope that it did answer some questions. Um, we have our group text, so feel free to reach out. I heard somebody say earlier, I just didn't want to ask a dumb question. There's no dumb questions if there's a solution or answer. There's none. You just don't know the answer yet. That's all. Uh, I constantly am working on stuff that I don't know about. So don't ever feel like it's a dumb question. It's dumb if you don't ask it and then go around not knowing stuff. I told you, ask for help. It's the biggest thing. I wish somebody had told me, ask for help. Um, if nothing further, thank y'all for coming. Don't forget, July 14th is Youth Protection. So same bat time, same bat station. All the link is on the Lieutenant Governor Hub. It's the same one we did for tonight. And so y'all should be able to find that. If you are having trouble, let me know and we will take care of that. But feel free if you have any questions, concerns, issues, let me know. And I am here for you. Because y'all matter. Y'all matter to me. Thank y'all again for coming. Put something in the group text if you have questions